how to find a gift that everyone loves. Not just you, not just me, everyone. I do realize that this statement may create a great deal of controversy because it's never been easy to elucidate the definition of a perfect gift of any kind in any context, because gift in itself is not an absolute entity. A gift never decides whether we like to love. It's the receiver, their expectations, and their situations. And sometimes these receivers are not limited to mere humans. You see, penguins, yes, the birds in tuxedos, find the perfect pebble for their partners. Dolphins have been observed bringing food to people, such as eel, octopus, tuna. While in cases of animals, it's pretty straightforward because they don't have a lot of options. They don't have these shopping malls, online stores, and there's really specific things they tend to like and love. But when it comes to humans, there's an enormously huge number of entities to choose from. With the advent of social media, it's becoming increasingly difficult because now you just don't have to impress the receiver, but also their friends and followers. And this has given birth to a whole new notion of gifts being Instagrammable. Let's move forward in the same notion and suppose that you give a gift to someone who loves it, enjoys it, but as soon as they post it on social media, it receives 14 negative comments. Would they still like it or enjoy it the same way? Well, if they do, you're quite lucky there, but even if you rule out this whole notion of gifts being Instagrammable, the chances of a gift being liked and loved are still quite slim. This is because consumerism and materialism has elated the human's expectations far beyond the astonishing packaging and what's inside it. People today have really started to determine whether or not the gift fits their lifestyle. And the closer you are to someone, the more people evaluate your gift because it tells them how much you love them and how much you care about them. And this is what puts you into a whole spiral of confusion and overthinking. And the more you think about it, the deeper you get trapped in it. And it makes sense because even research has proven that poor gifts can hurt your relationships. Which, by the way, defeats the whole purpose because gifting in general was a practice used by animals and humans to form and strengthen the relationships throughout the history, as you can see on the screen. But today, with all this confusion and overthinking that one gets trapped into easier than ever before, is something that I've termed as Giftophobia. You must be thinking how those shiny little presents with bows in them could possibly be creating a phobia. Well, Giftophobia is something deeper than just the fear of gifts. And most of us, knowingly or unknowingly, are giftophobic. Because most of the giftophobes procrastinate finding a gift until the last moment. Some rely on others to help them find gifts, and a few dread having to find gifts. Now, just like everything else today, there's an easy escape out of giftophobia. You just pull out your phones and you Google best gifts for mom, perfect gift for dad, top 10 gifts for girlfriend. And when you search these, there's tons and tons of resources that come up. These are blogs and articles by businesses, affiliates, marketers. There's a limited number of these for you to scroll through. But the problem here is trust. If you understand how search engines are optimized, you'll know that there's really no authority confirming or verifying the accuracy of information. That these are in fact the best, the perfect, the top 10 gifts. And in more cases than not, these businesses, these marketers, these affiliates showcase products, which, by the way, defeats the whole purpose because, like I said, gift giving is all about the receiver, neither the products nor the giver. The other kind of resources that come up on Google are these amazingly trustable resources. These are books, research papers, scientific journals, blogs and articles by experts in the field. These are highly trustable, highly accurate, and thoroughly researched. And they contain almost everything humanly researched ever on gift giving. Although the problem here is that these are either difficult for general public to comprehend or are impractical in nature. You wouldn't want to read 20 pages of research paper to find a gift for someone, would you? So when you try to Google your way out of giftophobia, you either fall prey to these marketers, these businesses, these affiliates who are trying to sell their products, or you have these amazingly trustable resources, which are impractical. And for the same reasons, more than 100 million people asked this question last year. And although this question came in different forms and variations and formats, the root of the question stayed the same. And the question is, what to gift to blank? You fill it up, mom, dad, him, her, whoever. And today in this talk, I'm not only going to bridge this gap between theory and practicality, but also going to give you 4 really easy, really simple steps that you can follow to find a perfect gift for anyone and everyone. Having said that, before we explore these 4 steps, it's important to understand one thing. And this one thing has stayed the same throughout the history for both animals and humans. And that thing is feelings. You see, gift giving is all about sharing feelings. The happiness, the aestheticness, the joy, the fun, the surprise, even disappointment, it's all feelings. And the good thing about feelings is that you don't have to gift it. The feelings already exist. So you just have to find a way to bring those out. Now understand, this is a difficult part. Well, how do you bring those out? Here's the catch. Research in evolutionary psychology has proven that the fundamentals of feelings, emotions, sentiments stay the same in all human beings, just like some other basic elements of the human body. And if you look closely, these feelings, these emotions, these sentiments are subset of human psychology. So if you understand human psychology, you can easily nail gift giving. I understand psychology isn't everyone's cup of tea here. Even if it is, thanks to the extensive research done in the gift giving domain, that it becomes impossible for even a psychologist or an expert to figure out which steps to consider when it comes to gift giving. This is where I'm going to help you today. I've led a team of psychologists and researchers from around the globe doing deeper independent research to figure out the 4 most important, the 4 major attributes of human psychology that play a crucial role in gift giving. And these 4 major attributes cover most of the minor ones as well. Moreover, this research was performed with demographics and segmentations in mind. So things like different age groups, baby boomers, millennials, Generation Zs, different ethnicities were also factored in. So without wasting much time, let's look at the first of the 4 steps, personalization. The thought and the care that goes into finding a personalized gift for someone is far beyond any mass-produced item, regardless of how expensive, how lavish, or how delicate that product might be. It leaves a special impact on the receiver because it comes straight from your heart and goes to theirs. And we all love personalization, don't we? I'm quite certain that all of us in the room today have at least once in our lifetimes scratched our names on something. Could be a desk, a tree trunk, a bike, and some of us still do. And the reason we love personalization so much is because it brings a sense of closeness and originality. And it's just not me saying it. Here's some recent stats from a research performed on important traits of personalized gifts, out of which originality was ranked at the top. However, the closer personalization can get you to someone, the chances of it backfiring are equally as high. This is because a human brain tends to recall images better. So when you think of someone, you think of the unique traits. How do they look? What do they do? What are their hobbies? What are their interests? However, a receiver, on the other side, prefers receiving something personalized, yes, but also useful. Versatile in terms of usefulness, which brings us to the second of the 4 steps, usefulness. No matter how amazing a gift is in terms of providing the initial enthusiasm, the boost, the flattering moment of gift giving, what matters on day 4? If it makes an impact on the receiver's daily life. In a recent survey, 81% of Americans of age 24 and above indicated that they prefer receiving something that they can use throughout the year. Yet in the year 2019 alone, Americans wasted $15.2 billion on unwanted gifts. Now you must be thinking, how can you find something useful? Here's 2 thought-provoking ideas for you. Find problem solvers. One of the mistakes we make as gift givers is we think that happiness comes from adding positives. Well, happiness also comes from removing the negatives. So when it comes to finding a gift, thinking of a problem in a receiver's life that you can solve with generosity can have a higher impact than any materialized gift. Regardless how expensive it is, that ends up sitting on the shelf and hardly being used, eating dust. Don't give them more problems. You read it right. Know and learn what your receiver is like, and then decide whether you should give them a bouquet of flowers or live plants. And if you think your receiver is careless enough that they wouldn't water the plants or throw away the dead flowers, don't give them either. Let me share a personal story. A friend of mine is a chef. On his birthday, I decided to find something personalized and useful and give it a lot of thought. And finally came up with something. You know what I gifted him? A wooden board with engraving on it. It was personalized and it was useful. Well, he was a chef. But it still didn't quite make the perfect gift. And it wasn't until later that I figured that cooking for him was merely a profession. He didn't really enjoy it. What he really enjoyed was going home from work, watching Netflix, and ordering food from outside. So even though my gift was personalized and useful, it was still missing one important trait. And that important trait is the third step in the process: experience. When you give a gift of experience, regardless of if the receiver shares it with you or not, it makes them feel closer and more connected to you. Because it tells them that you really know what they enjoy. And for the same reasons, Americans have been buying more experiences today than ever before, as you can see on the screen. And you know what the good thing about experience is? Of all the posts that goes up on social media every single day, experience ranks at the top. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean hashtag experience, I mean experience as a category. So when you give a gift of experience, the chances, the probability of it being posted on social media are higher, which also solves the problem of gifts being Instagrammable that I discussed earlier in this talk. Let me share another personal story. When I was 12, my uncle gifted me a cricket bat. It had my name engraved on it. And at the time, I used to play cricket almost every single day. And just like any other kid, I loved it. I had a great obsession for it. So much as that, I wouldn't let anyone touch it, anyone carry it to the bed every single night. But very soon, that bat became a disappointment. Because the bat wasn't of good quality and it broke after a month. This brings us to the fourth and the last step in the process, the most important step, long-term satisfaction. This is where most people make the mistake. And this is where I want you to be extremely critical and analyze the end-to-end experience, the whole journey of the receiver than just the initial enthusiasm. Because no matter how amazing a gift is in terms of providing personalization, usefulness, thrill of an experience, if it doesn't provide long-term satisfaction, all of it goes in vain. So this was a blueprint, a 4-steps process to finding a perfect gift. Now, what's next? You see, the reason I brought these up today is because it's more important today than ever before to know these. We've all experienced the COVID-19 pandemic, and we've all learned how important relationships are. And we've also experienced how difficult and complex it can get when things go in lockdown or things turn virtual. It becomes really complex to stay connected, to bond with people. This is where gift giving can play a crucial role. Because gift giving is, and will forever be, the #1 avenue used by animals and humans, corporations and individuals, to form and strengthen the relationships. And today we need it the most. And with these 4 steps, personalization, usefulness, experience, and long-term satisfaction, you will never have to worry about finding the right gift ever again, regardless of who the recipient is. So happy gifting. Thank you.